What if, right now, another version of you made a completely different choice? Not in a sci-fi movie, not in a fantasy, but in real, serious physics. What if you don't just live one life, but exist across multiple timelines at the same time? This sounds like science fiction, but parts of modern physics suggest something deeply unsettling. Reality might not be a single fixed story. Instead, it could be constantly branching. In this video, we're going to explore what multiple timelines actually means in physics, how quantum mechanics leads scientists to this idea, and whether you truly exist in more than one version of reality. And by the end, your sense of what reality even is might completely change. We experience life as a straight line. Past, present, future. One path, one sequence, one version of events. You wake up, you make decisions. Time moves forward. That's it. But here's the first crack in that intuition. Physics doesn't actually require reality to behave this way. At the deepest level, the level of atoms and particles, nature behaves very differently. Instead of certainty, there's probability. Instead of one outcome, there are many possible outcomes. And that's where things start to get strange. In quantum physics, particles don't have definite states until they're measured. Before that, they exist in something called a superposition. This means a particle can be in multiple states at once, not one or the other, but both at the same time. This isn't speculation. It's been confirmed in experiments again and again. One famous example is the double-slit experiment. If you fire particles through two slits, they don't behave like tiny bullets. They behave like waves, interfering with themselves, as if each particle goes through both slits at once. But when you measure which slit it goes through, it suddenly chooses one. So the question is, what actually happens before we observe it? One of the most radical answers comes from physicist Hugh Everett III. He proposed something shocking. The particle doesn't choose. Instead, reality splits. In one branch, the particle goes through the left slit. In another branch, it goes through the right. Both outcomes happen, but in separate, non-communicating versions of reality. This is called the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. And if it's true, every quantum event creates a branching of the universe. Now, take that idea and scale it up. Every decision you make involves physical processes in your brain. Those processes rely on quantum events, which means, in principle, every time there's uncertainty, reality could split. In one timeline, you said yes. In another, you said no. In one, you took the risk. In another, you played it safe. Each version of you continues forward, believing it's the real one. From your perspective, you experience only one path. But according to this interpretation, all paths exist. If multiple timelines exist, why can't we see them? Why can't we interact with other versions of ourselves? The answer lies in something called decoherence. When quantum systems interact with the environment, their different possibilities stop interfering with each other. They become effectively separate, isolated, like parallel tracks that never cross again. So even if other timelines exist, they're completely inaccessible to you. Not hidden, just fundamentally disconnected. Here's where we need to be precise. The many worlds interpretation is not the only explanation of quantum mechanics. There are others. Some suggest the wave function collapses into one outcome. Others introduce hidden variables or unknown mechanisms. But here's the key point. All major interpretations predict the same observable results. We can't currently test which one is true. So multiple timelines are not confirmed reality, but they are a serious, mathematically consistent possibility. And many physicists consider them a natural consequence of the equations. Now here's the part that really challenges intuition. If multiple timelines exist, then reality is not a single story unfolding. It's a vast, ever-branching structure. Every moment doesn't just move forward, it multiplies. And you are not a single continuous identity. You're one thread in an unimaginably vast web of versions, each one equally real, each one experiencing its own path. So when you ask, what would have happened if I chose differently? Physics might answer, it did happen, just not in this version of reality. So, do you exist in multiple timelines? According to some of the most serious interpretations of quantum physics, yes. But only one version of you is accessible to your consciousness. You live one path, even if countless others unfold in parallel. And maybe that's what makes this timeline meaningful. Not because it's the only one, but because it's the one you experience. The one where your choices feel real. And right now, you're still choosing. The question is, if every possible version of your life exists somewhere, what will this version of you do next?